Hello everybody, what's up? RezenatorZen here. I'm going to resonate some news to you from the BBC News homepage. It comes from Iraq. 60 people have been killed and 125 people injured in a double suicide bombing at a Shia shrine, which I suppose is supposed to be the most important shrine in Baghdad. The attack was carried out at Imam Musa al-Qadim shrine in the Kadhimiya area as people gathered for the prayers on Friday. It comes a day after 80 people were killed in two separate suicide attacks in Baghdad and in Cuba. Sorry. It's really hard for me doing the names of these cities because it requires a knowing of the language, and I don't have language. People say that the violence has fallen quite dramatically in the last year, despite the insurgent violence around Iraq and across Iraq and everywhere in Iraq. This bombing that just happened, people say it doesn't change the trend, but it's a worrying development, especially after Thursday's attacks. Jim Muir says. It's attacks like these, as a result of attacks like these, that's what fueled the cycle of sectarian violence that took so many thousands of lives in 2007, 2006. That's what Jim Muir says. As you can honestly believe, a lot of Iraqis are worried that this is going to get just a lot worse when the U.S. troops are fully withdrawn at 2011, and that might be true, that the violence might escalate. But I think that once we get out of here, the violence may sharply decrease, or it might just stay on one kind of trend, which I hope that doesn't happen, that just the violence stays on a constant. I hope it does sharply drop. Now it's time for some statistics and some information. The perpetrators of this latest suicide attack had their explosive belts detonated. They detonated each other within minutes of each other, and they did this at the gates, two gates of the shrine, which were packed with people. around 25 of the dead were people who were coming from Iran to go on a pilgrimage in Iraq. It's a shrine that's in a predominantly Shia neighborhood of Baghdad. That has made it a target for insurgents in the past. The attack was it follows one of the deadliest days of violence in Iraq so far this year. 48 people, who are mainly pilgrims from Iran. This is about another attack 48 people, many of them were Iranian pilgrims, were killed when a suicide bomber detonated himself um, in a restaurant in Bakuba, which is in the Diyala province, which is in the northeast, which is northeast of the capital, which happened on Thursday. Um, in Baghdad, a suicide bomber got into a crowd, which was consisted of displaced families, and they were getting supplies from the police, um, which he did. He detonated his belt within that crowd, and he killed at least 28 people. New statistics from Iraq's health ministry say that since 2005, when violence worsened, more than 87,000 Iraqis have been killed. Now these figures are coming from hospital morgue records, um, and I guess are significant because of the heated debate about the war in Iraq and the human cost, which just the number is significant. It doesn't matter if you're using it as a tipping point for a debate. 87,000 people have lost their lives since the war in Iraq was started. 87,000 people. It doesn't matter that it's due to the war, but 87,000 individual people have died throughout 5-6 years. That's a lot of people dead, and it's too many people. It's just shocking how 87,000 people have died in like 5 or 6 years due to, in no small part, to U.S. intervention in the region. Which that played a part, but given that Iraq was full of people who were the Shias and the Sunnis who despise each other or have some kind of hatred, and that's only for like the really extreme guys, I guess. When you put those two people in a country together, things are bound to happen. But I think that our interjection of force in that day, in this war, sort of, I think, may have reignited that spark. But I just want to say, when people say that wars and freedom have no cost, and they have a cost in human life, not by soldiers, but by the people who get caught in the crossfire. Alright? Peace, love, harmony. See you guys later.